Welcome to Walking with Jesus Bible Study. We're going to be in the book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 1. Wine is a mocker. Strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. And I'm going to repeat that. Wine is a mocker. Strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. Do not be deceived by the party culture. Do not be lured by the alcohol. While wine and beer and other alcoholic beverage are popular and promise a good time, more often than these drinks make fools of us. Too much alcohol leaves one intoxicated, and when someone is intoxicated, he or she does not make wise choices. When we listen to the crowd or to the promise of the fun or relief alcohol claims to have, we are being foolish. True relief only comes from faith in Jesus Christ. Ask Him to help you to resist the temptation. Now, see, here's the thing about a lot of people that drink, and they use the excuse, well, God turned water into wine, and they drank a lot in the Bible, and did this and did that, and they're using that as a reason to think that it's okay to drink. Here's the reason why it is not okay to be drunk. It says in the scriptures to stay sober. If you're God's true children, you would stay sober so the devil cannot get a hold of you. They don't call alcohol actually liquor spirits for no reason. You're allowing these demon spirits into you. And I think even in the scriptures, it says that the wine and the strong drink was made for those who are in heartache and is suffering and pain and forget the things. That's why they have it in there. Not to be staying drunk all the time. Not to be drinking all the time. But here's the trick of the devil. The devil likes to use and take things that God has made and whip it around. And see, the devil's gotten a hold of it. That's why it's called spirits. It's demonic spirits now that's taken hold of it. And that's why you see a lot of people build up an addiction to it. They can't let it go. The devil doesn't want to let you go. He wants you to stay in this alcohol. He wants you to constantly be in it because you know what? You're going to end up doing stupid things, make bad decisions. Most things that really leads to alcohol is like a lot of people have sex when they wouldn't do that. It's because of the alcohol. So you're staying in all kinds of sins when you drink all that alcohol and stay messed up on wine, whether it just be just a few glasses or the whole bottle. Alcoholism causes a lot of sin. And a lot of people stay in that sin when they drink. So just because they have wine in the Bible and it speaks about strong drink doesn't mean that it's okay to do it. Not everything written in the Bible is meant for you to do. And by that I mean these stories are from us to learn from. And there's a lot of things written in this Bible that we should not be doing. It's also written in the Bible where these tribes, this Benjamin tribe, I believe few men from, I think it was from the tribe of Benjamin, came up to this concubine, took her, and they all raped her throughout the whole night. And then dropped her back off at the man's house. And when he woke up and she was hanging on that doorway, he took her body and chopped her into 12 pieces, bone and all. Then took the body pieces and put one body part in each tribe land to get the person who did it to come forth and to admit it. Because when all the tribes woke up and seen this body part, it was like, oh my gosh, Why is this body part here? And then he comes and shows up and goes, well, because somebody, a couple of men out of one of these tribes raped her. And because they didn't want that evil on their land, that body part on their land, the tribes came together and made those people come forth on who did it. Now, just because that story is in the Bible doesn't mean we should go around raping people. It doesn't mean that we should go around chopping up bodies into body parts. So just because it is written in the Bible does not mean it came out of God's mouth, because nowhere in any of that story did God tell him to do that. Nowhere did God tell people to rape anybody. So unless it says that God said, we got to stop sitting there telling people, oh, God said to do this because it's in the Bible. We got to make sure that that scripture we're quoting came actually out of God's mouth and it says that God said that. We got to stop doing that just because just like it has slavery in the Bible, but God does not condone it. The evil people in the Bible do it. God keeps bringing his people up out of slavery. So they got to stop twisting it in the Bible that says that God condones slavery when he does not. He doesn't tell anybody to do it, and he doesn't condone it. He knows that it exists, and he keeps bringing his people out of slavery. In fact, when the people were so poor and they decided to sell their daughters into slavery, he makes one of the prophets go and buy their daughters back. Y'all got to stop twisting this Bible to make it fit to what you want it to do, and for how to control people, and for excuses and reasons of why to do things. There are stories for all of us to learn from, to lead by an example. How can we make it through such a situation because there's a similar situation in the Bible? That's what they're there for. Not for us to take and twist out. Here's the thing. When Jesus read the Bible, he didn't say, oh, when he was reading in Isaiah in the scriptures where he says he did that and then the Pharisees came to judge him. He didn't sit there and say Isaiah chapter 40 verse 1 and 2. No, he read from Isaiah and just read the whole part, because here's the thing. Everything in the Bible was supposed to be reading all together. We're not supposed to take it in sections and split here and this out and split this verse there and out and do that thing so that we can twist it to however way we want to make it seem. We got to take it for the whole story of how it is. And a lot of people are not doing that. They're just taking parts out of the Bible and twisting it to their own way and controlling people and saying you got to do this and you got to do that. And that's exactly where they got that slavery so-called Bible is from. They're taking out parts of the Bible and not the whole story, and not realizing what happened beforehand or afterhand. They just want to do the whole middle part, and you can mess so many things up, which is what a lot of people are doing. Why a lot of people are fighting and arguing over what it says in the Bible and to do this and that. First of all, even when you Google something, it would even say that God said this, when in fact it wasn't even God speaking. That's why you got to read that Bible for yourself. You got to know the truth for yourself. Because there's a lot of people that do that. A lot of preachers, a lot of pastors will sit there and say that God says you need to do this. Nah. Just like it says that in there, they all keep saying that God said that you can't have women preachers. God never said that. Paul said that. And Paul was only saying that, and if you realize that he was speaking to what? A lot of women preachers when he made that comment. You see, we got to realize some of these things in here, he was speaking from feelings, the flesh. It happens sometimes. But it wasn't what God said. And as we all know, that Jesus picked out prophetess for himself, had women disciples for themselves. And if you notice purposely that women came first in a lot of things. First of all, God chose a woman to give birth to his son. Jesus chose to have a woman see him first when he was resurrected first, as a proof of acknowledgement that girls do matter, women do matter.